Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and today I'm going to be talking about migration in Pokemon TCG Live. And for those of you who don't know what migration is, it's how you convert your Pokemon TCG Online account to Pokemon TCG Live. Pokemon TCG Online was the past client, which is still technically the official client, although it doesn't have the new cards in it. And then Pokemon TCG Live is the new client that is currently in beta, although presumably it's going to be exiting beta in I think it's June 8th or June 9th. Whenever Paldea Evolved is scheduled to release the next expansion, then Pokemon TCG Live will be exiting beta and going into a full release and officially becoming the client of Pokemon. I believe at that point, Pokemon TCG Online will not be playable. That being said, it doesn't auto-migrate when you do it. Presumably, that's what they've said, that it doesn't auto-migrate. So you can still not migrate. I'd highly recommend... if Pokemon TCG Online doesn't exist anymore, I'd highly recommend migrating, because otherwise your cards just don't, you can't use them, so it's kind of silly. But then I wanted to talk about the specifics, because honestly a lot of people have questions about it. It's a bit confusing, and in live here, I'll show you where it is. It'll be under, I believe, the settings tab here. So you go to this button, the kebab in the top right. You press settings, the settings tab here, and it should say migration. I believe this is the right place. Of course, I've already migrated, so I can't see it, but it'll be somewhere around here. And if you need help, you can ask in the forums or support tabs here, or of course, feel free to comment down below in my video description, or not my video description, in the comments. I will have possibly helpful piece of information in the comments below as well as the description, but please feel free to ask me any questions you have, because I'd be very glad to help. And speaking of migration, what exactly does it mean? Of course, the idea of migration is that it moves your old stuff to your new account. Keep in mind, you can play Pokemon TCG Live and have an active PTCGO account, but as soon as you migrate, you are now no longer ever able to play PTCGO on your same account. So right now, for example, I cannot play PTCGO. It just won't let me. And so what migration does is it essentially converts or brings over all your cards up to 4 of every art. And that's pretty much the main idea here. So if I go into a deck here, by the way, the way you see your cards is you go to a deck. I'm going to say edit deck. Now under filters, it's Pokemon Transfer Energy. I'll say show all cards in all formats with no other restrictions. So now these are all my cards. Now I'll search by, say, expansion. And so now these are all the cards that I own. Or these are not, no, these are all the cards that are out there, including the ones I do not own. So let's say I want to look at only the ones. This should include the ones I don't own. Yeah, it's just in some strange order. But let's say I just want to look at the cards I own. These are only the cards I own. And then this includes the cards I don't own as well. So I can look at all these cards from the expansion. I don't know how it's sorted, but you can see that these are all the cards from Scarlet and Violet, which is kind of cool. And obviously I own some and I don't own some. I did not migrate any of these. But if you want to look at your cards, this is how you do it. And then I can search for a specific card. Say I want to look at a certain, like, Pikachu VMAX. I don't even know if I own Pikachu. Apparently I did own Pikachu VMAX. So I have 3 copies of Pikachu VMAX here. I have 1 of this art. And then I also have 2 of this art, and these were presumably migrated before. So I had these in my old account, and then I have them now. Let's go to another card. Let's say like Bunnelby. And you'll see with this Bunnelby, I own 8 copies. As I said, you can only have 4 copies of a card per art. So here I have 4 copies of the regular art and 4 copies of the reverse hollow art. If you migrate and you have more than 4 copies, the extra copies are just going to get ditched because they don't do anything. You don't get any compensation for that, but of course they don't really provide any value to you because you can't use them. There is no trading in Pokemon TCG Live. The economy is actually much better in Live, so that's probably the main reason to migrate, or one of the main reasons to migrate, but you can have up to 4 of each art. I don't have this art, I don't have this art, but I could, and theoretically have 16 Bunnelbys. If it ever says you have more than 4 of an art, that is a glitch. Yeah, it should not say that. You should not be able to have that. And additionally, if you migrate, so let's say I have this Bunnelby here. So I own 2 copies. Let's say on my PCGO account, I had 4 copies. So PCGO will want to migrate 4 copies, and it will migrate all 4 copies. So if you don't know how the currency system works in Pokemon TCG Live, if you have 4 copies of a card and you pull a 5th copy from a pack, that will just get I was going to say dusted. I don't know the official term, but it will get essentially deleted, except you will get compensated by these things in the upper right corner here called credits, which can give you specific cards. This isn't amazing value, but it's some value, and it certainly provides something. And so you can do that. And so say I migrated with 4 copies of this Bumblebee. I already had 2 in Pokemon TCG Live. Well, now it will bring over all 4 copies, but then the other 2 copies to fill out the rest of the playset in this Bumblebee will be now turned into the credits. So that's a bit confusing. Pretty much the main takeaway is if you have 4 copies of a card on your PCGO account, that's fine. If you have more than that, they'll just get deleted. It's not a huge deal. It works, honestly, very nicely. Other than the fact that sometimes cards just seemingly disappear. For example, my double colorless energies, I had 8, or I had 6. I don't remember. I definitely had a playset. Now I only have 2. And I'll get to a reason why they might not be here, but I think the reason they're not here is because they're starter cards. There could just be some glitch in the system. But cards that are not here are cards that are older than Black and White, or older than the expanded format. These are just not in the game at all. So in order to look at all your cards, as I said, I'm going to highlight this again. Make sure you say all formats. And I'll talk about why that's a bit of an issue later as well. But so we're going to be looking at all formats here. But say I want to look at a card like Junk Arm, which I had before. I just don't have Junk Arm. That is not in the game, so you will not have those cards. That is a very limited set of cards, so that's only 1 year worth of cards. So I think there were like 13 years of cards worth of cards in Pokemon TCG Online. Now there's only 12 in Pokemon TCG Live. It's pretty much the same thing. In fact, there might actually also be 13 years of cards in Pokemon TCG Live because it now has Scarlet and Violet. But you will lose out on those older cards, which aren't super common, but you will lose out on them. And then, as I said, you will get credits. And then now I guess I'll talk about packs. So the only way to see packs is in here in the shop, which is really bad. Like, the shop's super hard. You can't search it really. It's really small, but you can see that here are some packs. Which is that I wanted to like show a pack. The way they do this is not very easy to use, unfortunately. That being said, you can get packs. You can redeem packs. You can redeem code cards in here, and you can like get I said packs. I can buy a pack here, which is cool. But that being said, it opens immediately. So any pack you have here, and this is not necessarily related to migration directly, but I will get to that. Is that packs open immediately when you do them, when you redeem them, when you buy them, whatever, when you earn them from the ladder. So yeah, these the packs, you cannot like save the packs. That being said, packs do not migrate from Pokemon TCG Online to Pokemon TCG Live, except you can have up to 125 packs. And when I say packs, I mean regular packs. This does not include chests. This does not include Pikachu-themed avatar collection boxes. This does not include... I don't know if it includes mini packs. It might, but I'd just recommend getting some regular packs. And then if you, up to 125 packs, it will give you crystals. Crystals pretty much allow you to buy things in the shop here. If you buy I'll give you a quick economy tip I learned. If you buy, where on earth are the things? If you buy the Shadow Rider Calyrex, where's the Shadow Rider Calyrex deck? If you buy the Shadow Rider Calyrex League Battle deck here for 1,250 crystals, this will essentially give you a 3-to-1 or a 1-to-3 rate. 1 crystal is equal to 3 credits. So that's approximately the rate you'll be getting because of the way the dusting system works. But yeah, you will get a large sum of crystals when you with up to 125 packs from your PCGO account, but you will not get the packs. Those do not migrate. Additionally, pretty much nothing else migrates other than cards. You do get some deck boxes and some sleeves. Honestly, like, no one plays with them, but yeah, you get some. I have like this one from PCGO and this one. So they migrated, but some might not migrate. Same thing with coins, sleeves, deck boxes. So you get the idea there. That they mostly migrate, but they don't. If you're super attached to them, I mean, it's a coin in a virtual game. But that being said, it will probably migrate. Of course, if it's older than black and white, it probably won't migrate. And this is not the full list either, I don't believe. I believe there are ones here that I just don't see. So that's fine. And then there are also... so what else do I have to talk about? You don't get cosmetics either. Those do not carry over. You can change your profile, which, as far as I know, doesn't work. But yeah, you can have your profile, but you don't like keep the hats and stuff that you can get from there. So, for example, we see glasses, we see hairstyles, and we see hats. So you could have like hats in PCGO. You can have hats PCG Live. They're both bad, but in my opinion, obviously, some people like them and they're kind of fun. But in my opinion, they're not amazing, and they're not the same either. They're not compatible with one another. So keep that in mind. And those are not going to be moving over. And I think that's about it for migration. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave it down below in the comments. I'm trying to think of anything I missed. Oh, you do not bring over your deck list. This is a big topic as well. So deck lists just don't migrate. So that's like, it is what it is. The cards migrate. I've personally not had an issue with my deck list not migrating. I didn't mind that, but some people do. I had lots of deck lists. It was just kind of a nice cleaning for me, but if you've been working on a deck list for a long time and it's only in PCGO, I'd recommend moving it to a separate thing. Pop it on. You could pop it on PokemonCard.io or just copy the deck lists. Keep in mind that deck lists do not work the same in Pokemon TCGO as they do in Pokemon TCG Live. They work similarly, and they may sometimes translate over directly, but not always, so you may need to manually put in the cards, but it is what it is. The deck list manager for Pokemon TCG Live is not good anyways. I'm just going to tell you that. It just doesn't work super well. It's small and kind of awkward. A few other things for finding cards. So let's see. I want to go and find my... I'm going to see if I own a copy of Professor's Research. Of course, I need to go over to this trainer tab here. I'll say Professor's Research. I got it. I got 34 copies of Professor's Research. But now let's say I want to find a card like Professor Kukui. So now that does not show up. Make sure you switch the format to expanded. And of course I own it, so it shows up. I have 4 copies of Professor Kukui. Now let's say I want a card like Professor Juniper. So I search for Juniper. Juniper does not show up, and this is an expanded format as well. So why isn't Professor Juniper showing up? That's because you need to go to all, and then Professor Juniper will show up. I have 6 copies. That is because the expanded format in Pokemon TCG Live is not the same as the regular expanded format in PCGO or other places. It only goes back until Sun and Moon. It does have the older cards, you just can't really play them, and they are not filtered under expanded. So keep that in mind. One last thing that I know of is that, say I want to now look at a card like Computer Search. I don't actually own Computer Search. Dowsing Machine, I own that. Dowsing Machine, as you can see, it's not there. I don't have Dowsing Machine in the trainers. So did it not migrate? No, it migrated as far as I know. But it's actually under Pokemon. What are my settings here? Yeah, so Dowsing Machine I do own, but now it is going to be under Pokemon. That's just some glitch. I have no idea why it's like that, but the A-Spec cards are under Pokemon. I don't know of any other glitches like that as far as like Prism Stars. For example, a card, I don't know, like Tapu Koko here. I misspelled Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko Prism Star. There we go. Is here. It's under a Pokemon. And then Silene Prism Star, or not, Cyrus Prism Star, is under trainers, as it should be. And I don't actually know if I own any Special Energy Prism Stars, but I'll look up. Yeah, like Beast Energy here is showing up, and Super Boost. I do own Super Boost. So you can see the cards are here, and those are sorted right. But for whatever reason, the other ones are not sorted right. So that's all there is to know about migration. There are issues, and not everything migrates, but mostly just check in the right spot to see if your things are there. you need to be careful, right? Make sure you read the terms and conditions or whatever. Just like the general guidelines. There's some big red text that like pops up, or it's not all red, but some of it. There's some big text that pops up. Just read through it quickly. It's not that long. There's like not the whole terms and conditions, but just the like general migration stuff. Make sure you have some familiarity. I think this video covers everything. But check below in the pinned comments or description. And then, as I said, please feel free to ask any questions you have down below in the comments as well. Because of course this is you probably want to be migrating before Paldea Evolved or when Paldea Evolved happens, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to be making content for that, of course. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're doing okay with Pokemon TCG Live. It's kind of iffy, but I hope it's going all good for all of you, or as best as it can, and I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to work out. So I'd love it if you subscribed to show your support. Of course, you don't have to, but if you want to stay tuned, I do daily content, and I will be doing daily content for the new set. And check out my community tab as well. I will be doing polls there. But I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video. See ya.